Hollywood.
Damn, we finally got a better idea of what timeline we're dealing with. Sort of.
Reporting record lower infection rates for LA County and beyond.
Oh my god. Is COVID gonna be in this season? I wonder if they're gonna have someone call someone wearing a mask demonic for wearing a mask. I was on public transit I was in grade 12. Someone called me demonic for wearing a mask. So that was 2022. I also remember though one time that after I got COVID, someone came on the bus because I took public transit to get to school and it was over an hour-long commute. And I just after I got COVID, but I was no longer like contagious, someone came on the bus without a mask and coughing, and I was so tempted to go up to them and be like, hey, I have COVID. Do you want to see my positive test results? And then cough on him. That's probably assault, so I didn't, but it was a thought. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least it's not a tsunami, right?
Over here! Come on!
Okay.
Hey, at least it's not a tsunami, right?
This is a joke. 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 No.
Chimney. What? What? No, the chimney.
Oh my god. So how do we get inside? Chimney. What? What? No, the chimney. It's only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time that confusion was gonna happen.
I'm in love with you. Son of a have been since lockdown.
And the plot thickens.
But you've been a total jerk to me.
I love you too, Dylan.
What?
Just zoom in on Hen's face.
In the future, if anybody asks, this is how I got my name.
If anybody asked in the future, this is how I got my name. But how did he actually get his name? Oh my god. Do we never get to find out? That's rude. It's kind of gay, Cass. Tally. Yep, give me a second. Tally? Yes. What tally? Wait, you started that? I'm trying to figure out what that is for... I don't even know how long. Yep. So, what is it? Well, apparently, I'm physically incapable of having a serious conversation about my feelings. Well, yeah. Bitch. Jerk. Cass, what's the tally? Well, the night that Dean confessed, in order to not process the fact that he was talking about his feelings, he kept calling me gay. And then, in order to continue not processing the fact that he was being vulnerable, he started a tally for how many times he called me gay. Okay, but you guys have been together for months now. We haven't found a reason to stop tracking. What is the purpose of the tracking? Unclear. He called me gay 193 times last year. When did it start? June 29th. You called Cass gay 193 times in 156 days? How do you know how many days that is? How many times are you calling Cass gay a day? I mean, to be fair, per the tally, he called me gay 8 times the first day. Yeah, and 9 the second. I mean, if you can see how many times I call him gay a day, the number slowly goes down, and how often also slowly goes down. So. What are you doing? I'm finding you a fucking... One in the morning. I just finished editing. I was gonna say 2 videos, I'm still editing one. I also had a screwdriver and watched that entire Gravity Falls charity live stream. Open Twitter, and this is what I see. Thomas Sanders tweeting, I'm so bad with technology. Like, what is the difference between JPEG and MPEG? Thomas, if you see this, leave before it's too late. That's crooked. I don't know when this became my equivalent of a rainbow Omegaverse hat, but here we are. Listen, I'm like 90% sure this is a joke, but I think that this tweet was specifically for me to see. Like, I don't think Thomas tweeted it. Like, yeah, this is for Comet. I think the universe just made sure that I saw it. I think the universe decided I haven't spent enough time thinking about the Omegaverse this year. Because by this time last year, I drove 35 minutes to my best friend's work to explain Omegaverse to his coworker. So, okay, here I am. Anyway, the reason I think that this was specifically meant for me is because I discovered Omegaverse through a Sandersides fanfiction. Like 5 years ago now. I've evolved since then. TikTok has been showing me on this day TikToks, obviously, and there's been recent ones that I've been seeing the last couple days, and apparently it was around this time in 2020 when I read that fic, because that's when I was making videos about it. Anyway, for anyone actually wondering, one of them is a file type, JPEG specifically. I don't know enough about technology either to tell you what the hell that means, but MPEG is male pregnancy. And, well, yes, absolutely, men can get pregnant because trans people exist. Generally speaking, this is not the case people are talking about when they're talking about MPEG. This keeps falling off. I think it's generally very humorous to people when it's like particularly masculine men. Like, my partner has been subjected to me sending them memes about this. Like, one of the ones I sent recently was Steve and Bucky, and it was Steve saying, I physically cannot get you pregnant. It is physically impossible. And Bucky saying, okay, so you hate me. So things like that. And then, of course, there's also just Omegaverse, where all bets are off and it's up to the author who can get pregnant in this fic. Generally speaking, it's an Omega. Generally speaking, it's a male Omega. How that works is up to the author. The crown just fell off my head. I don't know if it's the time of day or the alcohol that is making me like this. Thomas, if you ignored my warning and stuck around, I'm sorry again. Have a good night.
Greetings. This is unusuologist Stanford Pines thanking you all for your generous donations. Now, my niece told me that some of you on the internet are, in her words, thirsting after me. I don't entirely know how to respond to that, other than to say that I, too, have a thirst for knowledge. In the spirit of scientific curiosity, I will now, per your request, search my name on TikTok and read the comments for your edification. Let's see. Zaddy. Clearly a typo. Let me try another. Damn, he fine ASF. I assume ASF means at solving formulas. Stanford can get it. Get what? What can I get? Respect from my peers, I presume? Pressing on. Hear me out. And then the comment ends there. Worrying. What could have possibly stopped this person from finishing their statement? A ghost? A yeti? I will get to the bottom of this. Mark my words, stranger. I will hear you out. All right, next. Male wife coded. No idea what that means. Bill fumbled. Finally, something we agree on. He fumbled the lives of the entire galaxy. Girl, let's be real about that silver fox. With those 12 fingers, he could... dear God. That is enough. Stanley, is this some kind of prank?
It's gotta be. I've known you my whole life, and no one has ever called you hot. Let me see this thing. What is a funkle? Bunkle? Oh, okay, this one looks good. Oh, Lord! Shoot the phone! Send it back to hell! We're safe now, Sixer. We're safe.
Mabel? Were we just floating? I think so. Should we go check on Grunkle Stan? Probably. Grunkle Stan? Grunkle Stan? Why was gravity not working? Kids, what's going on? Well, gravity stopped working for a second there. Oh yeah, that. You felt it too? You didn't tell me there were children here. What's going on? Stan, why is there two of you? Oh my god, what did they call it when the statues came to life? Is the moon waxing? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You didn't know my twin was in the basement this whole time? What? What are you talking about, Stanley? I've literally been between dimensions for 30 years. How did you forget about this? Oh my god, it's been 30 years and you still don't know what a sense of humor is, Poindexter. What were you even doing all that time? Is now really the time for jokes? I still don't know who these kids are. Hi, Mabel here. What the heck is going on? Yeah, all of my classes except for religion, and we had an English class, but we also had a French class. So we had two language classes, basically. So we had English Language Arts, ELA, and French Language Arts, FLA. And then, yeah, every other class was in French. I don't even know how I learned French, to be completely... I was asking people... I've made videos about this before, because I was in French immersion since literal preschool. And I was like, hey guys, how did we learn French? Because I literally don't remember. I literally don't remember at all. Does this mean I speak French? Not really. I can generally understand it. But I cannot speak or write in French. I can speak a little bit in French, but I sure as hell can't write in French. I could never really write in French to begin with, to be completely honest. I can barely write in English. So, it's actually pretty sick to be 20 years old and I actually don't fully understand how punctuation works. Mais oui, je peux parler un petit peu de français. Petit peu. Mais, c'est malheureuse. Anyway, that is your period typical reminder that, yeah, I know French. To an extent. Period typical reminder, I'm Canadian. I was born and raised in Alberta, Canada. It was Alberta. That's not a state, that's a province in Canada. So, it's actually really funny though, because we don't learn Quebecois French. We learn France French. So you can't even use it in Canada. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Yeah, I guess it's also that time of the month again. Reminder that I'm Canadian. It's hilarious that I'm saying that. I almost started laughing just now when I said that, because I'm also on my periods. It's that time of the month in more ways than one. I don't know why I threw that. Don't do anything stupid until I get back. Who are you expecting me to do with you gone? Excuse me? I just mean, you're taking the stupid with you. Who? What? Slip of the tongue, Bucky. Oh, I'm sure. Don't do anyone stupid. Until I get back. Wouldn't dream of it. You're a punk. Jerk. Be careful. I kinda hate that Stanford Pines is my favorite Gravity Falls character. I kind of hate it. By the way, there's our blue light glasses. I got them because I spend a lot of time working on screens because content creation is one of my jobs now. Them looking like Stanford Pines' glasses was intentional. Because why do I have gender envy for this old man in a Disney cartoon? Why? I'm gonna be gay for a second and say a partner who lives close to me because I miss them. I'm gonna see them in a week, but I miss them. that. Well, no one on TikTok can tell that I'm short, but TikTok filters sure as hell can, apparently. You know the sad song from SpongeBob? That's what's playing in my brain. Well, today I learned that TikTok filters can tell that I'm 5 feet tall, so there's that. You know tattoos are permanent, right? Yeah, well, so are the scars they're over. So. Huh? Yeah, I mean, wait. Yeah, no, I don't think they're ever gonna fade fully, so. So, you know, I'm choosing between the forever, hey, what happened to your arm? And the, oh, that's a cool design on your arm. Pretty easy decision there. All of your tattoos are over scars? Well, no, but still, there are things on my body, there are parts of my body that I can't get rid of for various reasons that are as a result of a decision I made or as a result of something completely out of my control. This is something in my control. It looks really cool. It has meaning to me. Why can't I not leave it on my body permanently? I don't know, man. So, like, what is that tattoo anyway? My first one? This one? Ophiuchus. Constellation.
I don't know, Mom. I mean, how do you tell somebody that you've been lying to them for their entire life?
Excuse me? I don't know, Mom. How do you tell someone you've been lying to them for their entire life? What? 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 Is Buck adopted? Is that what we're gonna find out? To be honest, I pulled that out of nowhere. I don't... But I mean, what else could they be lying about? My only thought was, like, it's either something... Buck's adopted. My brain also was like, maybe Maddie is actually his mom, but that doesn't make sense. They're not that far apart in age.
People say that baby goats offer the perfect weighted resistance to hold a plank position. I could know weird stuff too.
No, it's not weird.
Buck out here with animal facts? No. Oh my god, Eddie out here with animal facts, and then being like, what? I can know weird facts too. Hen and Buck are rubbing off on you, aren't they?
Do rabbits have worms? Would you like to hear what I found on the internet?
No!
Would you like to hear what I found on the internet?
Oh my god. Stop. Oh, Eddie being freaked out by Hilda the whole time. Real? Oh, this is gonna be a prank. This is gonna be a prank on Eddie. It's probably Buck's doing. Maybe the whole department's in on it.
Thanks, bud. Real funny.
You're welcome.
Flirting. That was flirting. This is all flirting.
You don't have to protect me.
She's gonna drop a bomb.
You're not the one I'm trying to protect.
The raging fires have progressed in San Angelo. Response teams are exhausted. Further counties, including Los Angeles Fire Department, have been summoned to help contain the epic disaster.
Besides, it'll be fun. I've never been to Texas.
I get to wait at least one more episode, apparently, to find out what bomb Maddie was going to drop on Chimney. And now they're going to Texas, which leads me to believe this is the 911 Lone Star crossover that I'm going to be watching next, that all of you guys have been telling me about. First of all, they don't like nicknames, and Maddie is the name on her birth certificate? Okay. Second of all, it's a high-risk pregnancy. She's over 35. It's... girl. What?
Not really high risk.
Oh, she's over 35. That puts her at a higher risk.
Bitch. And they saw a therapist to talk to the therapist about Maddie's problems because Maddie wouldn't talk to them about it.
It wasn't as if you wanted to talk to us about them. Buck had to call to tell us that Doug was dead.
What?
What did you even say?
Chimney's talking to the bomber about what Maddie told him? Oh my god, Chimney!
There's a big age gap between him and his sister, so...
There's a big age gap between him and his sister. How old is she? I'm so confused actually though. Oh, this guy's gonna tell Buck.
You must really be kicking in. In you go, Stanley.
You're not lying. Not lying about what?
Gotta go.
Nice to meet you, Buck.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, I thought he was gonna tell him. I wanna know what it is! She doesn't do well seeing her children in hospitals.
You don't know. Mom. I'm fine.
I've seen this actress before too. Yeah, so I found out months later the reason that I recognized her was because she was in an episode of Supernatural. She's the old lady at the nursing home that told Dean that she knows when someone is pining for someone else.
Darling, if there is one thing I've learned in all my years on the road, it's when somebody's pining for somebody else. Oh, don't try and hide it now. Follow your heart, remember?
That's her. She's that sweet old woman from season 11 of Supernatural. Hey, careful, Stanley. I'm almost finished this formula. Ugh, what do you, get off to geometry or something? Ew, what is wrong with you? You're asking me what's wrong with me when you're the one who likes math? That's rich. Stanford. What? When I joked about you getting off to geometry, I wasn't trying to put ideas in your head. Oh wow, I forgot you said that. Stanford, he's a demon that tried to destroy our universe. Okay, I don't need a lecture on how bad Bill is, considering he's the one who manipulated me and came in and out of my mind as he pleased for years. He literally doesn't even have a physical form. Well, that was what the meditating was for. Oh, I don't need details. I wasn't gonna give you details. Not that there are any details. Oh, so you did hook up with the triangle demon. In the Mindscape, you can do anything and look like anything, so... You fucked the triangle demon, but he looked human. Got it. I didn't say anything about... Look, I have questionable exes, too. I'm not even gonna get started on that. Just please tell me that's not the only experience you have. I thought you said you didn't want any details. Oh. Poindexter, no. I'm fulfilling your initial request of not giving you any details. You sure there's nothing going on? Not even, with McGucket or anything? McGucket? What? What are you talking about? Oh wow, you still are an oblivious moron. Got it. This comment gave me whiplash. There's no apparently they considered it. They knew what they were doing. 2 episodes before the finale, they had a love confession. They had Cass confess his love to Dean and then sent him to super hell. And then Misha Collins tweeted after that episode aired and said Cass was always gay and in love with Dean. And since then, both Jensen Ackles and Misha Collins have been yeah, no, that was a romantic love confession, 100%. Also, it is Destiel, not Dean Steele. Just so you are aware. But, considering Cass's last words... Ha! Wait, there is one thing she's afraid of. There's one thing strong enough to stop her. When Jack was dying, I made a deal to save him. You did what? The price was my life. When I experienced a moment of true happiness, the empty would be summoned and it would take me forever. Why are you telling me this now? You know, I always wondered, ever since I took that burden, that curse, what it could be, what my true happiness could even look like. I never found an answer, because the one thing I want, it's something I know I can't have. But I think I know now, happiness isn't in the having, it's in just being. It's in just saying it. What are you talking about, man? I know how you see yourself, Dean. You see yourself the same way our enemies do. You're destructive, and you're angry, and you're broken. You're daddy's blunt instrument. And you think that hate and anger, that's what drives you. That's who you are. It's not. And everyone who knows you sees it. Everything you have ever done, the good, the bad, you have done for love. You raised your little brother for love. You fought for this whole world for love. That is who you are. You are the most kind man on earth. You are the most selfless, loving human being I will ever know. You know, ever since we met, ever since I pulled you out of hell, knowing you has changed me. Because you cared, I cared. I cared about you. I cared about Sam, I cared about Jack, but I cared about the whole world because of you. You changed me, Dean. Why does this sound like a goodbye? Because it is. I love you. Don't do this, Cass. Goodbye, Dean. Don't mind me checking the script to make sure I got that right. Almost 100% right, yeah. No, there's no apparently about it. I don't know how anyone can interpret that as platonic in any way, shape, or form. Like, not even just that, of course. There's everything else that happens in the show. The fact that there's only one universe where Castiel rebelled against heaven, and that he says over and over the reason he did it was for Dean. There's all of season 8, which is wildly considered the gayest season. There's the divorce arc in season 15 that they go through. The fact that they go through multiple breakup arcs even though they were never together, it's just, it's not a apparently kind of thing. They were aware. And it's likely that, especially close to the end, there were people who wanted it to happen. We know for sure that Misha was super down for it. Misha has said that if the CW hadn't been so homophobic, that Dean and Cass would have been balls deep. Which is hilarious to me because supposedly that was in response to a question about Buddy. Anyway, do with this information what you will. I personally use it to be a menace to society. Also, there are very fun video essays out there about Destiel because it is quite literally a cultural phenomenon for its queerbaiting. Like, it's fucking insane. 12 years of queerbaiting. Unheard of. Have fun on the potential Destiel spiral this sends you down. No, a very interesting part about being in the 911 fandom is, like, while there is, like, a significant overlap with 911 and Supernatural fans, obviously that's not always the same. It's not always true for every single 911 fan, but because of this overlap, of course, there is 911 fans who learn things through, like, osmosis, essentially, from being in the 911 fandom about Supernatural. And so you do see some very interesting comparisons being made and definitely some interesting observations that people have made that are like, I mean, like, I get that you don't know, but that's kind of wild. Not that long ago, I saw a tweet from someone who said that they want to get into Supernatural, but they heard that there's a Buddy-like ship in it. They don't know if they can go through that again. And that was such a wild thing for me to read. For so many reasons. Because, like, one, Destiel is, like, culturally significant for its queerbaiting. Like, it's unheard of what Destiel did, okay? And before, like, anyone comments anything, I will say specifically I have never really watched or consumed any Star Trek media, so I know that for sure Spirk is very culturally significant and that's a whole ordeal, but I do know that overall Supernatural is very unique for how they handled Destiel for so many reasons, and as a result, there's probably always going to be a comparison when it comes to any sort of feeling of queerbaiting, especially with the Killian relationships in media, to Destiel. Because that was genuinely 12 years worth of queerbaiting, essentially. Where in fandom spaces, and when it came to writers and actors on the topic itself, were limited in what they were allowed to say, and it was generally a very taboo thing to talk about for the majority of the time that the show was going on. Only for, at the very end of the show, for there to be a love confession that resulted, a one-sided love confession that wasn't reciprocated except for in one dub the Spanish dub of the episode, only for them to kill off that character, send him to basically super hell, and have not the character not show up again for the remainder of the series. There were 2 episodes left. Well, they claimed the reason that they couldn't bring this character back was because of COVID restrictions, but then they also brought back a random character from season 1 that no one remembered. And not only that, but the character that got confessed to did not say a single thing about it to anyone whatsoever. It does not get brought up again. And it's actually, I think about this a lot, the fact that in the second episode they had credits for the actor for that character, and then it turned out it was because he had one line in the show that was over the phone that ended up being a different character luring them outside. I think about that often as someone who watched those last 2 episodes live and was looking very intently at those credits, just hoping and praying that we weren't going to get to the insanity that was a bury your gays trope, a very explicit bury your gays trope in our year of 2020. After 12 years of queerbaiting. And then that's what we got. So, at the time of seeing this tweet, I was just I just kind of, like, replied to it by saying, oh, it's worse. Because, honestly, honest to God, with where we're at with Buddy, it is significantly worse. Because as much as I'm not the biggest fan with how 911 has handled Buck's bisexuality journey, and very much did not like the guy that he dated, we still have by Buck. This is still very explicitly queer, to the point that, like, again, the actor for Buck is very open about this, and very much, like, he believes in the storyline for this character, you know? And along with this, we've seen things like Ryan Guzman and Oliver Stark talking about how they like Buddy as a concept, and watch Buddy edits together. On top of that, as well, Oliver Stark has said that he is down for Buddy to go canon, but ultimately that is up to the show writers. In comparison, again, when it was Supernatural, that was something that they were told not to talk about. A very major moment for Supernatural fans was when season 15, episode 18 aired, and Misha retweeted that Castiel was always gay and in love with Dean. That was a big moment. And you'll see now that Supernatural will be trending, and Misha Collins will be trending, because he'll talk about Destiel now. And even recently we've seen Jensen Ackles be like, no, that was 100% a romantic love confession. There's no other way to interpret that scene. When we have seen around the time that it happened, there were people who weren't talking about it at all, and or claiming that it was platonic. Also, a fun little thing to add to this is that I did see that Jeopardy thing where they talked about where the question was, what is 911? And they literally explicitly, the clue was that fans are waiting for Buck and Eddie Buddy to get together. Like, that's kind of crazy to see. And just, yeah, generally now in the 911 fandom, well, of course there are people who are, like, Buddy shipper haters and don't like Buddy as a concept and as a ship and everything. It is definitely more openly discussed and not really considered a taboo thing, so as a result, it feels more likely for it to happen. And also, it is just a kinder environment for queer audiences, because when it was Destiel, people were telling Destiel shippers that they were weird and gross for wanting 2 men to be in love. For watching Supernatural and seeing similarities to the characters on their screen to themselves as they were queer people, and also picking up on queer coding that was going on in the show for the characters. But no, they were told that they were crazy and weird and gross for doing a very normal thing for being in a fandom space, which is shipping, and for seeing themselves in a character. And this is coming from someone who is more on the peripheries of like the Supernatural fandom. while this was all going on. Of course, people found community and found people who shared the same ideas as them, but again, I've seen interviews and panels where people asked about Destiel, and people in the panel were saying to, Jensen Ackles, you don't want to know what that is, it's weird and gross. I'm paraphrasing that, but I do specifically remember seeing, a panel where Jensen was like, what's Destiel? And I don't even know who it was, but they're like, you don't want to know. You don't want, as if it was this weird, gross thing, when it was really just, hey, yeah, you're on-screen bestie. It seems like you may have some romantic tension with him. And again, that's specifically in the show. And it's interesting, too, to me, thinking back on it, because I know that, Misha has kissed both Jared and Jensen on the mouth. I genuinely don't think it would have been the end of the world for anyone involved in Supernatural, especially Jensen and Misha, for Destiel to have gone canon. With the whole talk of a potential Supernatural season 16, I'm just like, at this point, if we don't get Destiel, why are we even watching it? Because, and that's not even oh my god, if my ship isn't canon, I don't want it. It's after a certain point, it's just full-on disrespectful to the queer community. As a whole, the people involved in the show have been very disrespectful to queer fans in the, just in general. But again, in my experience, that hasn't really been the case. There, of course, is going to be homophobic people, and people are going to have issues with the whole bi-buck arc and everything, but I don't feel like the showrunners or the writers or the actors think that gross and weird for being queer. I mean, there's been canonically queer characters since season 1, which is yet another thing that makes, Supernatural and 911 very different shows. 911 feels like it is intentionally reaching out to its queer audiences. Meanwhile, Supernatural didn't want a queer audience in the first place. I rambled on for about 10 minutes. At the end of the day, after all of this, I just find this very interesting. That, while the pipeline from Supernatural to 911 does make sense to me, I found that overall there is a significant difference in the experience of being in this fandom than there was being in the Supernatural fandom. That's the Comet ramble for today. So at this point, it's probably a well-known fact that when I get gender envied for a character, I will dress like them, whether that's in a cosplay capacity or just I start modeling outfits after them, okay? Now, my friend Field put into words that basically what's happening with this whole look is lesbian Ford Pines in her early 20s. And while I knew subconsciously that that was essentially what was happening here, the concept of, androgynous, sapphic Ford Pines did not occur to me in my brain. But that's exactly what I'm doing. And now I want more than anything to make sapphic, androgynous Ford Pines content. But how the fuck do I do that? I have no idea. Because you know what? My partner has agreed to cosplay Bill Cipher with me, so that'll be... Honestly, at any point, when we do cosplays, we often do a gender non-conforming version of the characters, whether intentionally or unintentionally. It's just kind of how it works out. Even if it doesn't look like it, trust that we're probably doing a gender non-conforming version of the characters. But in the meantime, because we're not going to be doing that for a couple more months, do you guys want to give me some ideas for what I can do for sapphic and androgynous Stanford Pines content? What do you want to see? Fellow sapphics and androgynous people who love Stanford Pines, how can I be of service? Because I want to make Stanford content anyway, so might as well make it extra queer. And of course, if you guys have any ideas for Bilford stuff too, even if it's things that I can do with Jasper, and if it's things that I can do by myself, because I am down for Bilford stuff. Fuck around with their gender, because I mean, to be fair, also, Bill's gender has always been kind of an interesting subject in the fandom anyway. By all accounts, he's technically canonically a man, but androgynous Bill is a pretty common and popular thing in the fandom anyway. Talk to me. What do you want to see? But basically what's happening with this whole look is lesbian Ford Pines. It's been a few hours of doom scrolling, and I got that out and finished reading that other Gravity Falls graphic novel. Well, also just and I watched the film theory video where they talked about Bilford, because that's a thing now. Anyway, all this is to say is now I just have a little brain rot of the idea of, like, Ford going out in the wild and getting adopted by a group of lesbians. I don't know if that's just, like, the fact that I have this emotional attachment to this man, but, like, I feel like I need some lesbians who've seen Gravity Falls to, like, weigh in on this. If you saw Ford out in the wild, would you just adopt him? Just, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? You know when you go out sometimes, and sometimes you just, like, get adopted by, like, a group of people? The best possible scenario is when it's a group of lesbians, right? Like, what that means exactly does depend on who you are, but, like, I feel like I could totally see them just, like, seeing him and be like, okay, come here. You're with us now. There's no choice here. We got your back. Now he just has, like, a group of lesbians that would kill for him in his back pocket. He doesn't even know what he did. He just existed out in the wild, and they were like, him. Again, I don't know exactly what it would have been. Like, I'm just a lesbian that's emotionally attached to this old man. But now as a concept, it won't leave my brain. I also did, there's, like, a part in, the fourth comic that came out in, like, 2018. They go to, like, a circus, and there's just, like, a section with a bunch of, like, weirdos, and they call him a normie and everything. And, you know, you see people with, like, piercings and tattoos and shit. Queer people. And he's like, who you calling a normie? And shows off his 6 fingers, and they're like, oh, so sorry. And then they just have his back for the rest of the book. Like, they just come to bat for him at the end of the book. Just that. But, like, when he's a 60-year-old man, and it's just a group of lesbians this time instead. They see him out in the wild, and they're like, he gets it. He's been through some shit. But, like, we get it. And it doesn't have to be, like, specifically a group of lesbians. It can be just, like, just a general group of queer people just adopting him. It would make sense. Essentially, that already happened to him when he was a kid. Like, come on, if there's one, like, space where he would fit in, it'd be with a bunch of queer people, let's be so honest. Like, they would not question a single thing about him. They would see the 12 fingers and be like, yeah, another day.
Stan! What'd I do now?
Oh, I have a bone to pick with you. Okay. I've just been sitting here. I do not know what this could possibly be about. All this time. All the shit you've given me about Bill. And I did something comparable to fucking a triangle demon? What? You married a witch from another dimension, so... Okay, Ford, I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Does Marilyn ring any bells?
Okay, I don't know where you learned about her, but yeah, we got married in Vegas, so what?
So, I know her. I met her when I was in the multiverse.
What? Her real name is Ida Clawthorne, and she's a witch from the Boiling Isles.
Oh. Huh. So that marriage wasn't even valid. So technically, I have no failed marriages under my belt.
I don't think that that's the takeaway here. Look, I don't know what you want from me. At least she looked human.
Let me ask you something. Did she turn into an owl beast?
Ford, I don't even know what that means. What are you saying right now?
A triangle demon and an owl beast. What a pair we make.
Okay, Ford, I think you need to go to bed.
What does this even mean? Okay.
What?
I'm pretty fine with my partner, and it's very funny for both of us that we both have a toxic ex named Kai, so, you know. How about no? Sleeping to... When did I ever sleep 8 hours? Be so for real. This is things I have to go back to. I never did this. This has never happened. I sleep for 12 hours or I sleep for 3. There's like... Or 6. Like, there's... It doesn't happen. So sorry. Okay, let's do this again. drinking... I do drink water. I definitely don't drink as much water as I used to. Especially lately. So, fair enough. Okay. I think fanfic author curse is very much real, even more now, because funniest thing. So, randomly, last night, I just wrote this Gravity Falls one-shot and posted it. It is the first fanfic I've ever actually finished and posted. Because I've started a lot of fics and never finished them and never posted them, except for like the ones that I wrote when I was 12 that I wrote with a friend at a weird hour of the night. So, you know, post my first fanfic ever. And today, everything was going fine. I was on time to leave for work. And here's the thing about my car. My car likes to randomly lock. Okay? It was minus 23 degrees out. Celsius, for just to clarify for Americans and stuff. Minus 23 degrees. I grab my snow brush to brush off my car, close the door, and I already realized that the car had locked, but when I closed the door, I realized that I had taken my keys off my belt loop and they were in the car. The door to the house was locked. Every other door to the house was locked. And as far as I tried to get through the garage too, and the garage code wasn't working. So I ran around for a good 20 minutes, crying, trying to get inside the house, trying to open the garage door, trying to break into my own car. And then I texted my stepbrother, because he's the only one that's home. Not even home. He's at school. But my parents are in Mexico, so it's just me and him. So I'm like, hey, when are you getting home today? Because I'm locked out of my car and my house, and the house. And he's like, I'm not getting home till 5. Have you tried the garage? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, maybe, just maybe, it's not dead and I have the code wrong. So I'm like, the code is this, right? And he's like, it's this. So after a good 20 minutes of freezing my ass off and crying and trying to break into the house and into my car, I put in the right code, the garage door opens. I have a backup key for this car because of it randomly locking. But also, I had accepted my fate when I was messaging my stepbrother that I was not gonna get to be able to drive my car to work. So I had ordered an Uber, and I had to cancel the Uber, and then it didn't let me cancel the Uber. So it was like, cancel it, it's this amount of fee. And I was like, okay, cancel it. And then it was like, actually, no, fee has changed because you canceled it too late. I don't know. So I had to pay $6 to Uber for canceling my Uber because I was finally able to get into my car. And some way, somehow, I was just on time for work. But still, the fact that I've had this car for, oh my god, when did I get it? I would have been 18, I'm 20. Yeah, I've had it for like 2 years. Ish. Yeah, no, 2 years now, it would have been. Yep. And I have never locked myself out of the car. And it just so happens that I locked myself out of the car when no one else is home, when all the other doors are locked, when my parents are in fucking Mexico, and this is a few hours after I post my first ever fanfiction. Fanfic author curse is real. What the fuck? Also, no, I will not tell you what the name of the fic is, or give you the link to it, because I wrote and posted it specifically so I could write and post it anonymously, just because I am trying to get back into writing in general, and so I'm trying to practice my writing by writing fanfic. So I guarantee you it is not that great a quality of a fanfic, which is fine, because you know what, you write fanfic for free and for fun. But yeah, at this very moment, the AO3 account I posted it to is specifically my anonymous AO3 account, and it is, yeah, it's just for me to know about. If other people, obviously other people are gonna read it, but I don't want it specifically tied to me. So that's your update.
I still can't get over how you ended up with your powers. Come again? You were bitten by a spider and then got spider powers? Like, what the heck, man? I don't understand. Dude, I was tortured. Okay, but that was, so you would develop a mutation. I'm technically a mutate. I don't know, man. I think I would have taken the spider bite. Honestly, I would take the spider bite over torture, but I can't say the spider bite was pleasant. Really? I was sick for a minute. What the doctors have to say about that one? Doctors? How sick did you get? Pretty sick. Feverish, sweating, blurred vision, yeah. Yeah. It was not a good time. You didn't go to the doctor? No. It is a miracle you're alive. Wow, I knew your self-preservation was in the toilet, but even as a teenager? Going to the doctor wasn't really an option for me, Wade. Why? Oh, we were already dealing with crippling debt from my aunt's medical bills. Goddamn American healthcare system. Yep. Is that why you didn't go after that guy who killed the CEO? What? You weren't too far away to deal with that. Hey, no judgment. I'm Canadian. We got the universal healthcare. It's fucked that you weren't able to go to the hospital. I mean, I ended up fine. Yeah, but you could have died. Honestly, that would have been more likely. The universe was on your side for that one. Yeah, it's like the one thing.
I'm not single, but why would I be? Unpredictable, don't leave the house mismatch. Oh my god! Thankfully, my partner finds all of those things charming, so what now? Perfectionist, too impulsive, crazy cat. I'm not a lady, excuse me. And you know what, when we got my cats, my partner was the one to be like, so, we're meeting the cats tomorrow? So, yeah, because we weren't at home. My parents got them, so. And the cats liked them better than any of us. So. Yeah, it's relatively common in Canada for you to have to do a second language class until grade 9 or 10. And I know that because I went to an English school from grade 9 to grade 12, and so I had to take French as a second language in grade 9, which was really fun because I was doing French as a second language worksheets, like grade 12 French as a second language worksheets in grade 8. So I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do it. And then I did grade 12 French as a second language in grade 10. So. I was supposed to take the DELF, which is like an exam that I don't even know. It's an exam that you take that basically, if you pass it, it says, you get like a sheet that says you're fluent in French. And then if you do that, you can put it on your job applications that, you know French. So. And that's kind of like proof. But COVID happened. So I didn't. So I can't even act like, I can't even put it on a resume and be like, I speak French. All that for what? It like sucks. I did 10 years of French immersion and 2 years of French as a second language. Fast-tracked my French. And yeah. Guys, listen, I love my partner. I hope this is something you guys are very much aware of by this point. I am madly in love with them. For so many reasons. So many reasons, okay? But I've said it before, literally, when I made a video, the first video I ever made about how I was seeing someone was, how did you get past security? His fortress is impenetrable. Door was unlocked. Son of a bitch! That, but how are you seeing someone after several years of being willfully single? They go along with my dumb shit. Son of a bitch! Okay? What is this about? They've agreed to cosplay Bilford with me. I've been yapping their ear off about my toxic old man Yowie. And I already have stuff to do a semi-decent Ford cosplay. Because for whatever reason, I have gender envy for an old man from a Disney cartoon in 2012. Also, I find it obscenely funny that he has now canonically said Zaddy. But you know, when I fixate on a character, I doom scroll stuff for their character on Etsy. And I come across bracelets, Bill and Ford bracelets, and I'm like, listen, if you want to cosplay Bill still, because they had mentioned that they would want to cosplay Bill, because I had also said that I wanted to cosplay Bill, but I'd be like, you know, if you still want to cosplay Bill, I am so down to cosplay Ford, and we can wear these bracelets, and they're like, okay. Zero hesitation, okay, I probably have stuff to do it. My partner agreed with zero hesitation to cosplay the toxic old man Yowie between an old man with 6 fingers and a fucking triangle. Yeah, that's my fucking soulmate. What the hell? Fine. We're damaged. Really damaged. But that does not make us wise. We're not special. We're not different. We don't choose who lives or dies. Let's be normal. See bad movies, sneak a beer and watch TV. We'll make brownies or go bowling. Don't you want a life with me? Can't we be 17? That's all I want to do. If you could let me in, I could be good with you. People hurt us, and you're right, it really blows, but we let go, and go buy some summer clothes. We'll go camping, and we'll eat some chili fries, maybe prom night. Don't stop looking in my eyes. Can't we be 17? Is that so hard to do? If you could let me in, I could be good with you. It must be 17 if we still got the right. So what's it gonna be? I wanna be with you. Wanna be with you tonight. Yeah, we're damaged, but your love's too good to lose. Hold me tighter. I'll stay if I'm what you choose. If I'm what you choose.
'Cause you're the one I choose. You're the one I choose. I genuinely don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Wait. Making sure that's the right character. Okay. Anyway. He's a gay man and I'm a lesbian. I'm so sorry, Michael. Okay. I don't even know who that is. Wait, who the fuck is that? Okay. Who, men. Okay. Listen, because he's a priest, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to get married anyway, so. Oh! I'm like afraid. I'm like afraid, though. Okay. I swear to God, if I get a bad one after this, like, the shit she did was fucked up to Eddie, okay? Okay. Please give me a good one. Who the oh, okay. 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 Okay, listen, it's a man, but, like, it could be a worse man. I guess. It's not terrible. Are you joking right now? Are you joking? 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 Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking?
I just wanted one thing to remember him by.
We live with a reminder every day, staring us in the face.
No.
Isn't that enough for you?
Yes.
Let me see how bad it is. Are you kidding? Oh my god. Go to fucking therapy. It is not Buck's fault you had him to save your other kid, and it didn't work. It is not his fault. This is a joke. Oh no! Oh my god. This impulsive little shit is getting himself in trouble because he got hurt and then got taken out for a new bike and ice cream. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This explains so much about you. It's a miracle that you even survived childhood.
Sorry, I just really thought about the implications of that. He intentionally put himself in danger and got himself in trouble and got himself hurt for his parents' attention. He intentionally hurt himself because that was probably when his parents treated him the best. Okay. Oh my god. Buck is just me.
You ever replay a conversation in your head and where you sound like an idiot?
Have you met me?
I ran into Ana Flores this morning.
The buddy moments in this are actually fantastic.
It's your boy.
Be a professional!
Oh, they're actual children. Oh my god. They're so perfect for each other. These scenes should be like... They sound like they belong in a Tumblr post. Like, they... like, that dialogue all sounds like it was from a fucking Tumblr post. And it should be... It should be a TikTok sound. So I'm gonna make it one.
Okay, so you have to move our hands this kind of motion and ring the bells 9 times.
9 in total, or nine for each of us?
It's unclear. I think maybe we should all do it just to make sure we lift the curse completely.
Well, is it actually a curse? I know we called it that, but technically I think it's a jinx.
What's the difference?
Well, I feel like a curse implies that a person put a hex on you, and a jinx is more like a general angering of the gods.
All right, I got it. Here we go. How to appease the gods.
Hey, wait. So is a hex and a curse the same thing?
By that you mean both are totally made up and not real? Yes.
Yeah, no, this entire episode has so many golden moments. Like, are you joking right now?
I interrupting book club?
Medical babies, women.
I was wondering why Buck had a book in his hand, but now it all makes sense.
Eddie, what would you say Anna's love languages?
Anna who?
Traitor.
Wait, are you dating someone?
Baby's not here yet. Who's Hannah?
She was Chris.
Wait, is this the teacher that you yelled at?
Then I apologize for that.
But still didn't ask her out?
She's Christopher's teacher.
Thought she said she had a new job.
Oh my god, I love them all. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is so... What is this episode?
Okay, you want to try again? Because your taxes seem a lot more exciting than mine. Save your house. Bye. Fireworks, okay? That's like some of the people up here. Well, how much is in there? I don't know. Dispatch is Captain Nat requesting assistance at Bay Park Drive. Fire has been upgraded to second alarm. Need another pair of hands around back. Go, I got this.
Oh my god.
Hit it like one pom pom. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on.